Hello and welcome to the Counselor Advocacy for the Jewish University Experience Jewish Student Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but will be around for the entire session to answer any questions. My name is Jenny and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Be sure to specify which school your question is for or if it's a general question. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Jewish Student Fair. That's strivescan.com/Jewish Student Fair. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, the George Washington University.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris Butler. I'm absolutely delighted to be with you today. Thanks for joining us. I represent the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., and I'd like to tell you a little bit about our school and then pass it over to my colleague Adina, who is our Executive Director of Hillel, to share a little bit about Jewish life at GW. So some quick facts about GW. We are a medium-sized research institution with just about 11,000 undergraduate students. We have students from all 50 states and 130 countries, so we are a private institution with a real global reach and cosmopolitan flavor. Our average class size is about 29 students, although you'll find as a first-year student, you might be in slightly larger lectures, but by the time you're a junior or a senior, you'll be in very seminar-sized courses with 12 to 18 students. We have two campuses at GW, our Foggy Bottom campus, which is the campus that students generally tend to familiarize themselves with first, which is in the Foggy Bottom neighborhood of Washington, D.C. But we have a second, primarily first-year residential campus at Mount Vernon, which was a former women's college that we purchased in its totality about 30 years ago. The Mount Vernon campus is about 2 miles to the northwest of our Foggy Bottom campus. Both campuses are integrally linked, so students that live on one campus will take courses on another. We find that the Mount Vernon campus is a great place to host outdoor kind of activities like our bonfire night and harvest days. It's also home to our living learning program, so students who in their first year would like to live with students that share their affinity for service or share an affinity for political science can live together in small communities, sort of bolstered by each other's passions for the same things. As a research university, we have a ton of opportunities for you to study pretty much whatever you want. This is sort of an semi-exhaustive list of all of our academic opportunities. Of course, I won't read them all, but it gives you a sense of what amazing opportunities are available to you. You apply to GW in one of 7 schools and programs, but you can double major across schools and major and minor across schools or transfer schools if your first choice doesn't necessarily satisfy your particular curiosities. Our student life is robust with over 500 student organizations. We are a Division I school, so we have a lot of sort of sport enthusiasm as well as recreational sports. I'm going to pass it over to Adina because I know she has a lot to say about the Jewish experience at GW.
Thanks so much, Chris. Hello, everyone. My name is Adina Kirstein. I'm the Executive Director at GW Hillel. I've been on campus for 12 years. So this community and students, working with college students, is really near and dear to my heart. So Chris set the scene for how many are at GW on the whole. Of that community, about 30-ish%, about 3,000 Jewish undergraduates are part of that community, and an additional 1,500 Jewish graduate students. We really believe deeply, I might have told you a few years ago, it was about identity growth, it was about a lot of different things. These days, it's about belonging. I want students to come. I want you to feel you have a sense of community in this bigger, wider city-urban environment, that you still feel like you have a home away from home. We're really thinking critically about building empathy with students. What does it mean to listen with an open heart, to navigate some of the taxing political waters we know we've all lived through? At GW, students come to change the world, but we want to help them think through how to do that with empathy in their hearts. And really, I want being Jewish to be a joyful piece of one's life. You know, I know a lot of students come in with lots of various different experiences, whether you're incredibly engaged and involved when you get there, or whether you've never set foot in a Jewish environment in your whole life. I want you to feel like it's a joyful space to grow. We do a ton of things, and we really try to follow the lead of students. But I will say oftentimes programmatically, our work tends to fall into these following key bucket areas. So engagement, how do we really cultivate those one-on-one relationships between staff and students, et cetera. Education, lots of learning opportunities. Your professional development. I know students come to build their resumes at GW. What does Judaism have to say about that? How do you look through a Jewish lens at your professional life? How can we help you gain mentorship opportunities and networks? And really thinking about, again, how do we change the world through a Jewish lens? We really want students to have the tools they need so they live vibrant Jewish lives beyond GW. Okay, Chris, next slide. So, oh, she's spoiling the spoiler alert. Okay, so how are we doing all of this? We're thinking about meeting the moment and bringing Jewish values to bear. So what do I mean when I say that? Next slide. We're trying to always cultivate experiences where students are thinking critically about how your life in Washington, D.C. and your Jewish identity intersect. So one example, Chris, if you want to go to the next slide, we blessedly were able to take two different groups from our freshman orientation program to visit with Justice Ginsburg. You can see her there, the tiny, wonderful woman in the middle. Again, she talked a lot about the law and about living in Washington, but she also talked about how law life intersected with her Jewish identity. Other examples, Chris, if you want to go to the next slide. We just had Congressman Ted Deutsch come to speak with a group of our students. We were so impressed last year when vaccines were just coming out. We had a group of very motivated students who created an opportunity for hundreds to help use their tech skills to get elderly people and those looking for vaccine appointments in, and it got a ton of great exposure, including in the Wall Street Journal. So that was exciting. I think our last slide before we turn it over to the next school. A big piece of the puzzle for us right now is we just moved into a beautiful new state-of-the-art home at 23rd and H Street. It is, it's a game changer for us. We had a wonderful community before, but now students really are finding it's a space they can connect, meet with others, feel a sense of home. We just pulled all our data. We have 300 plus students who have not done anything intentionally Jewish programmatically, but they're using the space as a really wonderful, like I said, it's a home away from home. So Chris, if you want to go to the last slide, I realize there are a few other pictures, but other than that, I'm happy to answer questions at the end of the session, and so good to be with you all tonight.
Thank you so much. And that's a great reminder to our participants to use that Q&A function if you have questions for our schools here at any time. Be sure to specify their school that the question is for, or if it's a general question, but they're more than happy to answer questions throughout these presentations. Up next, we have the Hebrew University of Jerusalem.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mariah Lamb. Would you mind starting my video, please? Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Mariah Lamb, and I'm a recruiter and admissions representative for our undergraduate study abroad. Today, I'm going to talk about a couple of options for recent high school graduates. Okay, so first let me tell you about the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. We were founded in 1918. We are the oldest university in Israel. Some of our founders include some great 20th century thinkers like Sigmund Freud and Albert Einstein and Chaim Weizmann. We are consistently ranked among the world's top 100 universities. Last year, we ranked 90th in the world, and we were in the top 25 universities outside of the United States. So we have a very strong academic legacy that we are very proud of. We are home to 8 Nobel laureates, and we do have 23,000 students who attend Hebrew University. Approximately 2,300, sorry for the typo, should say 2,300 are from 90 different countries worldwide. So we do have a very diverse student body that come from all corners of the world. A couple of options that we have for recent high school graduates: for students who want to complete their entire degree at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, they have to first go through what's called the Mechina program, the preparatory program. I'll kind of touch base on that in the next slide. And we also have a first year semester or year study abroad program. So it's an academic gap year where students will take a semester or a year worth of classes at the Hebrew University, but it is a non-matriculating program. So it's just meant for students who are maybe taking a break after they finish high school and maybe just want to study for a semester or a year and have that international experience, but plan to study at a home university in the States where they will complete their degree. So a little bit about the Mechina program. So again, it's a preparatory program. It's 1 year, it starts early August and it goes through the end of June the following year. So it is basically to prepare a student to complete their degree in the Hebrew language at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. It's 1 year, it's divided into 3 tracks, and it depends on what a student would like to major in once they finish the preparatory program. So we have a humanities and social sciences track. So if a student's interested in psychology, or if they're interested, in Israel studies or Jewish studies, they would go through the humanities and social sciences. If they would like to do exact and life sciences, maybe biology, pre-med, anything like that, they would go through the exact and life sciences. And then we do have a business and economics track. And so those classes will vary a little bit based on your track, but the majority of the classes, it's meant to elevate your Hebrew language so you're able to complete coursework in Hebrew. The application deadline, it's June 30th for this upcoming academic year, and it will be the end of June for next academic year as well. The majority of programs, this is a 1-year program, and the majority of degree programs at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem are 3 years. So overall, you would spend about 4 years doing your degree. There are a couple of degrees that are 4 full years plus the 1-year preparatory program. So that is definitely an option. Students. And then of course we have the first year study abroad program. So again, like I mentioned before, this is for students who wish to kind of just spend a semester or a year getting their feet wet, maybe taking a break from school, but they still want to have an academic experience where they're able to broaden their horizons, have a bit of structure, and still challenge themselves in an academic environment. So we do have our studies begin with a pre-semester course, which usually begins at the end of August or beginning of September. That program, it's just to kind of welcome students and help them get their feet wet, help them adjust to life in Israel while still taking a course and getting to know their classmates. And then semester courses generally begin the beginning of October, and students can take up to 15 credits per semester, and they can take courses in a variety of subjects: Hebrew or Arabic language, Jewish civilization, history, Islamic Middle Eastern studies, political science, international relations, global studies. So you have a great variety of courses that you're able to take. And then you also can do a community service option if you'd like. We have a community service coordinator, and so she can talk to you about what you're passionate about and what maybe you want to give back to the community in Jerusalem. And so she can kind of set you up with a community service option where you'll be able to give back. So the program, again, we have semester, year-long options. This semester, for fall, late August to the end of December, sometimes the beginning of January. Spring semester is late January to early June. Eligibility, we do require at least a 3.0 GPA and 1250 SAT, and that's the application deadline. Okay, second to last slide. We do have student life at Hebrew University. Living in a new country, you can kind of need some guidance. So we do have the student life department. They organize trips and social events throughout the year. So we have excursions throughout Israel for students to explore the country. We also have social events kind of throughout the year to keep students engaged. We also have madrichim, our guides kind of help students adjust to life in Israel. And we have someone on call 24/7. So if a student ever finds themselves in a crisis, they can contact people, and they are available 24/7. And we do have some financial aid available. So just wanted to put that up there. And this is, if you have any questions, these are our contact information. Yael Libudinsky is the Director of Financial Aid, and my name is Mariah Lamb, and I can answer admissions questions for you. So
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Up next, we have University of Hartford.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Robin James. I'm the Associate Director of Admission for University of Hartford. I'm going to go through the admission part of the university, and then I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Lisa Langsner, who works she's the Director of Jewish Life. So this is a view of our academic side of campus. University of Hartford was founded in 1877. We are situated on 350 acres. So it's an expansive campus, but it's pretty small to medium in size as far as students are concerned. We have about 6,500 total students. About 5,000 of that is at the undergraduate level. We are centrally located between Boston and New York. So it's about a 2-hour drive from each of those locations. Really easy to get to the city if you want to do that on the weekend. Public transportation comes through campus for students, so you don't have to have cars if you don't want to. Typically, our classes are about 17 to 20 students per class. We don't have large lecture halls with hundreds of students, so you get more one-on-one attention. We have a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio because of that, which we're really proud of. We are comprised of 7 different schools and colleges that make up the university. We have over 100 different programs of study in those 7 schools and colleges, everything from communication to nursing to dance to music theater, engineering. So lots to offer all of our students. We have a brand new building that just opened up for our engineering and health science students with state-of-the-art laboratory spaces for physical therapy, nursing, maker spaces for robotics, engineering, concrete labs, really some really neat things in there. That's another look at that new building. We also have our Center for Student Success, which we call a one-stop shop for our first-year students. So if you need help with adding a class, dropping a class, changing your major, if you have questions about your bill, if you want tutoring help, advising, all of that is done in one office for the students, so they don't have to go around campus to different departments trying to get all of their questions answered. This building also has our Office of Student Engagement and Inclusion in there, our Career and Professional Development Studio, where we help students to get jobs on campus while they're students and also after they've graduated, and then our Study Abroad office. So as I mentioned, we have over 100 different programs of study, but we also have over 100 different clubs and organizations for our students, everything from academic clubs to health and wellness clubs to community service clubs. So lots for students to do on the weekends. There's always something going on, whether it's a sporting event or a gallery exhibit from our fine arts department or a play put on by our performing arts school. So never a dull moment on campus. For our application, we accept the Common App, and then we also have an application on our website. We are test optional, so you don't have to submit SAT or ACT scores if you don't want to. We do ask for 1 letter of recommendation. We'd like to see 2, but 1 is required. And all of our students are eligible for merit-based scholarship at the time of admission, so you don't need to submit a secondary application. You're automatically eligible just by applying, and our average student package is just under $26,000. So I'm going to turn it over to Lisa, who's going to talk about Hillel and Jewish life.
Great, thanks, Robin. I am the Director of Jewish Student Life at the University of Hartford. I'm also the Hillel Director. Jewish life at the University of Hartford is really embedded in the university. We have 2 full-time Jewish life staff. We sit in the Office of Student Affairs under the Dean of Students. and we are employees of the university. So Hillel is a big part of the university and our culture. We estimate that we have about 700 Jewish undergrads and graduate students. We have the Maurice Greenberg Center for Judaic Studies, which offers a bachelor's and a minor in Judaic Studies, and also lots of fun Hebrew and Israeli culture classes that anyone can take. We have a lot of really great supports for Jewish students. So our kosher dining station is a part of the regular University of Hartford meal plan, which means that if you apply for the meal plan and you can eat from the kosher station whenever you want. And there are actually a lot of students who keep kosher and don't keep kosher who eat at the kosher dining station because they do say it's the best food on campus. We also just renovated 2 and now a couple of more Shabbat and Kashrut observant residential suites. So these are suites for 3 to 4 students, a couple of doubles and a single. Sorry, that's my husband. So we have spaces for students of all observances to live comfortably in campus, and it also doesn't require any other cost other than living in the apartments on campus. So Hillel has a lot of opportunities for students. We have a very diverse campus, and so we offer a lot of different things. We have a really vibrant first-year students of Hillel group where first-year students are paired together with an upperclassman, and we do a lot of really fantastic first-year only programming, especially in the first couple of weeks, so students can make friends. We offer a really successful Jewish Learning Fellowship. We run a birthright trip every year. We have Shabbat and holidays, and then lots of off-campus activities that are really popular. We get busloads of students to go to things like apple picking and pumpkin picking. The Jewish community of West Hartford is very vibrant, and we do rely on that for a lot of our support. We have over 20 synagogues within a 15 to 20 mile radius. We have the New England Jewish Academy, which is right here in a Schechter. The JCC and the Jewish Federation are in walking distance to our campus. And lots of our students use those resources. They get jobs as Sunday school and Hebrew school teachers. They are subs at NIJA, and they have internships in the Jewish community. So we are really lucky to be a part of this really fantastic, vibrant Jewish community at the University of Hartford and in West Hartford. So there's lots of opportunities for students both on campus and right around campus to be involved in Jewish life.
Thank you so much. That
If
is
you
our
have questions, I'll put my email somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can put your email in the chat, and participants, you can always use that Q&A function if you have questions for any of our institutions here at any time during their presentations. Thank you so much. Up next, we have Temple University.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk to you about Temple University and all the wonderful things that Temple has to offer to students, especially to our Jewish population of students that we have here at Temple. I first want to start with one of our mission statements, which is at Temple University, we celebrate each and every student. As a member of our community, your safety and prosperity are top priorities. We value your individuality and your identity, and we provide the clubs, support services, and resources to help you feel secure, healthy, and empowered. With more than over 26,000 undergraduate students alone across the globe, we are a community of unique voices and perspectives. Our mission is to create a social learning environment where you can speak your truth and be heard, where you and your classmates are met with respect and encouragement. I just wanted to let that out. I have the screen that I'm sharing with you today, which has a lot of different facts regarding Temple University. We are a big school. We have at the moment over 26,000 undergraduate students alone, and we do offer over 150 majors for students to choose from. But although we are a big school, we are also have that very small small school feel. We are located in the city of Philadelphia, in beautiful North Philadelphia, which is very historic area of Philadelphia here in the state of Pennsylvania. And like I said, we do have that small school field. Our school is actually a very traditional campus, even though we are in an urban setting, because we are in the middle of the city of Philadelphia. Our campus is actually a very walkable, beautiful campus, as you could see in my background right here. That's actually one of the green spaces that we offer for our students, and we have available for everybody to enjoy. We have a very walkable campus, which is actually a mile by a mile. So everything is right there for the students, your residence halls, your dining halls, places where students gather along with your classrooms. And to offer more of that small school feel, we do have our student to faculty ratio, which is 13:1. And our average class size tends to be around 29 students, with the exceptions of some lecture halls, but they are always under 50 students, which is something that I think it's pretty remarkable. A lot of people ask, how is it that you're able to accomplish this being a very large school? Well, we are an R1 Carnegie research institution, so we're very lucky to have a lot of agent professors and researchers that come to teach at our university so that they can do our research. And this opens up the doors for many of our students, even undergrads, to be able to be part of research programs through our Diamond Research Program and our undergraduate research scholars opportunity. Like I said, we are located in Philadelphia, but we also have three great opportunities for students to be able to choose from. One of them is in Ambler, Pennsylvania. We have a campus in Ambler, which is about 20 minutes from the Philadelphia main campus. That is home to our horticulture and our landscape architectural majors. It is in a live arboretum. It is beautiful landscapes that are actually all taken care of by our faculty and students. Our other opportunity that we offer our students is our Rome, Italy campus, which is actually a very unique opportunity for our incoming freshmen. It is a place where all first-year students can choose to study abroad, and you actually study your entire first year in Rome, Italy, which I think it's a really fantastic opportunity. The last opportunity that Temple offers that it's really unique is our campus in Tokyo, Japan. That is a 4-year accredited university, which is very unique. It is also the oldest foreign university in Tokyo. So as a student, you are able to study a semester abroad in Tokyo, or if you like, you can spend all 4 years at our Tokyo, Japan campus and graduate with your Temple degree. We offer over 300 clubs for our students, and I wanted to mention some of them which are very unique for our students that identify as Jewish. One of them, of course, is our Hillel at Temple University, which is the Center for Jewish Life at Temple University campus. They offer a wide array of programming for the holidays, Israel advocacy, Jewish culture, Jewish education, social dynamics, and so much more. Hillel also offers services and Shabbat dinners every Friday evening, holiday meals, and events for each Jewish holiday, a kosher deli-style cafe, and classes for whatever topics that students may be interested in. We also offer delicious, authentic kosher foods over at our Zadie's Kosher Delicacy. This is a place that it's right on campus, and it is a place where our students can enjoy their delicious, authentic kosher meals using their meal plan, board swipes, meal equivalency, diamond dollars, and they even accept cash and credit cards. One of the other wonderful clubs that we offer here at Temple is our Jewish Student Union, which actually engages all self-identifying Jewish students, no matter their level of religious observance or Jewish education. They believe that a connection to the Jewish community is important and can be a source of support for all students. I can go on and on. We have about 6 more clubs that I can speak about that are geared for the population that we are speaking about today. Again, these are some of, as you can see on the screen, there's a lot of facts here about Temple, and come to Temple and come visit us because it's a very unique space in the middle of the city.
Thank you so much. And up next, we have Tufts University.
Awesome. Happy Evening, everyone. Monday evening. Woo! We are off to a good start for the week, my friends. My name is Becky Stiles. I use the she series pronouns, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Tufts University. So for Tufts, we are just 4 miles outside of Boston. So we are very close, very accessible to the city, but we still feel like a more like quote unquote traditional New England college campus. They're actually finally putting the new subway extension right on our campus, which they promised me back in 2010 when I was an undergrad, but is finally opening summer 2022. So even though it only takes about 35 minutes to get to downtown Boston now, it's going to take anywhere from 25 to 30 with the new T-stop, the subway stop that's going to be right on campus. We are considered more of a mid-sized institution with about 6,500 undergrads. For us, our focus is on the undergraduate experience. Even though we are a tier 1 research institution, we want our students to immerse themselves in a really vibrant student life, but also have really meaningful connections with our faculty. 99% of our classes are taught by faculty. The other 1% are actually classes taught by other undergraduate students. For us, I am a passionate user of Google Maps, so I just wanted to give you a sense of our campus in the broader greater Boston landscape. So as you can see, we are nestled in more of an urban residential area, but again, you feel like you have a community and a college campus home to come to and to be a part of during your 4 years at Tufts. For us, it's all about our community. So our undergrads, also known as jumbos, because yes, Jumbo the elephant is our mascot. They are nice, they are collaborative, they are socially conscious, they want to make meaningful change both at the local and the global level. And they're humble. This is a place where we really value that balance between being really incredible scholars, but also recognizing that you are a person who is growing during your time in your undergraduate years. If you choose to apply to Tufts, we do have 3 undergraduate schools. So the biggest decision besides will I apply to Tufts is which of these undergraduate schools will I apply to. So for us, again, those 6,500 undergrads pursue major offerings in 3 different schools. We have over 150 different majors and minors. The majority of our students are in our School of Arts and Sciences. We do also have a full School of Engineering with 16 different ABET accredited majors. 50% of our students in our School of Engineering identify as women. And then we do also have a fine arts program, which is called the School of the Museum of Fine Arts at Tufts. The SMFA has very appropriate. We have an elephant in one campus, then we have Bessie the rhino on another, kind of standing guard over the SMFA. This campus is right across the street from the Museum of Fine Arts, so there's a really lovely relationship and connection between the MFA and the SMFA. The nice thing about how we structure our student academic experience is that regardless of which of the 3 schools that you are applying to, you come in undecided. Every single student has a pre-major advisor. Every single student has time to decide exactly what it is that they want to pursue. And our students are never barred from taking classes outside of their major or outside of their school. So if you are a computer engineer and you just love sociology, take those classes. If you are an English major, but you really want to take a welding class and use that plasma cutter, go forth. All of those things are open to you. We are a very collaborative, interdisciplinary institution. For us, it's a very welcoming, inclusive place where students are celebrated and supported and very genuine in their desire to do really incredible things with really incredible people and learn from folks with so many different areas of expertise and lived experiences. We have over 300 different student clubs and organizations on campus. So regardless of what you are interested in or what you want to explore, chances are that you are going to find it on our campus. Specifically thinking about the Jewish experience at Tufts, about 20% of our undergrads do identify as Jewish. And some kind of big important points about our Jewish community is that for Hillel, it is a large building kind of right on the corner of Packard, so pretty central to our campus, does offer weekly Reform and Conservative services. And there is this awesome student board that is selected every single year, composed of 22 different undergraduate students from from first years all the way to seniors. There are weekly Shabbat dinners at both Hillel and at the Chabad House. The really nice thing about the Chabad House is that the family that is like a live-in family with our students as well. It's a special interest house, so you can choose to live there starting your sophomore year. There's so many fun things to do, and that family has been running it for decades. So some of my friends have literally seen those kids like grow up over the years, which is super fun. And there's also a fun like prep for Shabbat dinner every single Friday in the Chabad House, which is awesome. And then kosher dining options exist on campus in many different places. So we have kosher dining in Pax et Lux, or Pax et Lux, which is a pun on our motto, Pax et Lux, which is peace and light. So that is open to all students in our campus center. Hillel and the Chabad House also have kosher dining options for our students. Hillel also during Passover has Seder kits to go for students if you want to do something special in your dorm or in your apartment. And here's a hodgepodge of different student organizations, different events that happen all over campus. This is pulled just from this past year. Shir Appeal is our Jewish a cappella group on campus. We have just fun events happening like the Birthright Waffle Bar that was hosted by students, first year karaoke. Every year Hillel also has a formal. For financial aid, we meet 100% of demonstrated need for all of our students, regardless of citizenship status. And just as a quick little poll from last year's admitted students, why Tufts? Community, the people, it's all about the interdisciplinary kindness and academics that permeate all parts of campus. And I will put my email in the chat for anyone who has questions.
Thank you so much. That's a great reminder. If you have questions, to put that in the Q&A, and our schools here today will answer those questions in the Q&A function. Next, we have U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
All right, thank you so much for having me. Let's see, can I share my screen? Hopefully.
Yes, you should be able to.
Okay, can everyone see that?
Yep, looks good.
Great. Well, as I said, I am representing the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. My name is David Fromer. I am the Jewish chaplain here. We always say that the two most common misconceptions about the U.S. Military Academy are that it is in Annapolis, Maryland, when in fact, that's the Naval Academy. We are about an hour north of New York City, right on the Hudson River, as you can see in this picture. And the second most common misconception is that there are no Jews at West Point. And in fact, as we'll see, West Point is home to really a thriving and dynamic and unique Jewish community. So first of all, a little background about West Point. Okay, so West Point's mission is to educate, train, and inspire the Corps of Cadets so that each graduate is a commissioned leader of character committed to the values of duty, honor, and country, and prepared for a career of professional excellence and service to the nation and as an officer in the United States Army. So what does that mean? It means that when you attend West Point, you attend for 4 years, just like any other four-year college. The education is fully funded. It's valued at approximately $240,000. As a cadet, you don't pay a cent of that in money. What you do, however, is pay for it with service after you graduate, with 5 years of full-time service, a minimum of 5 years of full-time service, and then 3 additional years of reserve service. You can, of course, always serve longer, and most graduates do because they find that they are so prepared for what they're doing and they find the work so meaningful that they end up serving longer. But that is the minimum number of years that you serve in exchange for this incredible education that you receive here. Speaking of that education, you can see some of the statistics. West Point used to be predominantly an engineering school, but it has branched far beyond that now to include all of the regular majors in humanities, English, history, political science, psychology, foreign language, all of those things. So you can see kind of the numbers on the academic majors, minors, and departments. There are 26 research centers of excellence here. Cadets, the equivalent of undergraduate students, jump right into research, from their very first years here. And West Point does a great job of placing them afterwards in graduate scholarship programs like the Rhodes Scholarship, Marshall Scholarship, and others. West Point has a student population of about 4,100 to 4,200 students or cadets, so it would be considered kind of a small college. And you can see that it ranks in the top of its competitors in a lot of key areas. Most accessible professors is certainly a real benefit to the cadets. The professors go out of their way. Many of them live right here on West Point's campus, and they go out of their way not just to encourage the students academically and support them academically, but also develop them as mentors who have experienced the things they'll experience in the military and beyond, and who are eager to kind of pass that knowledge and experience along to them. And you can see, some of the other things here: science lab facilities, classroom experience, counseling and health services, very important, obviously, for a military environment, and engineering programs. You can see that West Point places its cadets in really exciting summer academic internships, major corporations, Disney, Mercedes, Johnson & Johnson, Bank of New York, all across kind of the spectrum of different fields. And in addition to that, of course, they do some pretty cool things regarding military training, like combat dive school, mountaineering school, airborne school, those types of things. So they're kind of receiving a terrific academic education like they would at many of these other colleges, but all of these very unique skills that kind of only the military can provide them as well. Lastly, what is Jewish life like here at West Point? So we have a Jewish chapel, which is really, you would think of it as a Hillel Center or Center for Jewish Life. It's just called a chapel because that's how the Army tends to refer to these buildings. We have 75 active Jewish cadets. That's a lot more than people think. And our affiliation or participation rate of those cadets is very high. If you go to a school like Maryland or Brandeis, where they have thousands and thousands of Jewish students, you'll have more Jewish students there for sure, but the percentage of participation will probably not be as high as it is here, because when Jews are in the military, they need to stick together. And they find a lot of special meaning in doing that. We have Shabbat services and dinner every Friday evening, a minimum of 2 kosher meals every week, plus more on holidays, and 3 kosher meals available for every day of the week of Passover. 2 Jewish activity clubs. We have a Jewish choir here, which has existed since 1947, and a Hillel club, which basically is a Jewish travel and activities group. A Jewish Warrior Weekend Shabbaton each semester that brings Jewish cadets together from all across the military, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and ROTC programs at many of the schools that we just heard from. Birthright and academic trips to Israel every year, birthright trips every other year, academic trips every year. And West Point does have a Center for Holocaust and Genocide Studies, which runs trips of its own as well. We'll just close with some pictures here, pictures from some of our holidays: Sukkot, Hanukkah, Purim, and Pesach. You can see how much fun Jewish cadets have experiencing Judaism here. Also, some of the cool training here: rappelling down mountains or rappelling out of helicopters. And the Jewish choir was invited to perform online at the People's Seder, which was led by the Vice President and Second Gentleman this year. So a lot of cool activities. Happy to answer questions about it in the time afterwards. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to all of our presenters here today. If you'd like to come back on camera, we have time for a very quick Q&A. We only have a minute or two here. So we'll go with, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? So we'll do a very quick round robin, a sentence or two about what you want students to walk away remembering. We'll go in the same order.
I will say that GW is an academic candy store. You can study almost anything you want in almost any combination, and we take very, very good advantage of the incredible internship opportunities available in DC.
I would say Hebrew University. We are an academically very strong university. We do have a wide variety of majors for those who want to come and complete their degree. Also, you can't beat Jewish life in Jerusalem, right? So you get to live in Jerusalem, you get to study here and live here and feel like a local.
I would say that University of Hartford really is like a family, that small to medium-sized community, but still with so many offerings for our students between majors and clubs and organizations. There really is a lot to do, and it's really hard to find something that doesn't interest you here.
I think it's me. I think the coolest thing about Temple University, it's its location. We are in the 6th largest city in the United States. So not only do you get that traditional campus right in the middle of the city, but you also get a beautiful city to be able to explore. And I have to mention the over 149,000 Temple Owls that are really united. Our alum are a great support for our incoming students alike. So Owls, we like to say we're everywhere.
For Tufts University, I would say we are a school filled with kind nerds who want to do really cool things. On one day of the week, you might be working on research and writing up a paper all about that cardiac extracellular matrix that you designed out of silk protein. And then the next night, our library will be a roller rink for you to have fun with your friends.
I'd say that what separates, I think, West Point from a lot of other places is that the cadets here have the opportunity to go to the very best schools, all the schools that are right here in our room, including Ivy League schools, but they turn down all of those acceptances because they place their values first. They're committed to service and they want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And that's truly remarkable and leads to quite a high character of people that you would be going to school with and learning from.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our presenters here today. That's the time we have. If we did not answer your question, if we weren't able to, please reach out to all of the presenters here today. Their contact information is in the chat. They'd be more than happy to talk with you and answer your questions. And thank you so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. So we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions that are happening right after this one. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Jewish Student Fair. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.